Nice to have you guys. Welcome to this video. Today, an update about the wash hole. Some of you might be saying, Sebastian, you still have a wash hole. I didn't even notice. It hadn't been in the picture for a long time. In between, it was used as a bit of storage space because we had to rearrange a bit from the old hall, and a lot also needed to be rearranged and cleared out in the regular detailing hall. That's why this part really hadn't been used for its actual purpose, for washing and filming videos. But now the place is up and running again. Let's take a look at it together. Here we go. This is what the hall looks like now. I'll show you some pictures of how it looked before. Back then, I still had these rubber mats lying around. There were also a few cabinets on the side and everything that goes with it. And it was just difficult to shoot videos here. Before, there was even more stuff stored in here. So it really was a storage hall. And now we have the condition here. We vacuumed the whole area and then laid the new floor, and it looks really stylish. And now we have the opportunity to bring a little more brightness into the room with the light here. 2001, it really looks very, very stylish. Now up here with all the lighting, the walls also reflect the light from the ceiling a bit. In the back area, we have some light and shadow effects included. But yes, it is a hall for washing. And it has been officially registered from the very beginning, meaning it has been approved as well. And I can wash here without any problems. And now with the new floor, it looks really, really stylish. You can also see here that the pattern is now in a square, or rather rectangular pattern rearranged. In the other hall, I have these longitudinal stripes in red, black, and then silver gray. And here we have this typical and absolutely classic rectangular design where the vehicle is framed, and here with turquoise, one of my absolute favorite colors. I like it very, very much. The good thing is also when parking, because you have about an M on the right and left. The hall is 410 meters wide and a vehicle is approximately around 2 meters. The layout works very well, as I have a black line here, a turquoise line, and then the parking space for a normal vehicle is marked in this gray area. You can see that I didn't quite manage it, but it definitely provides a good orientation when driving in. You always know, okay, when you look in the rearview mirror, it's perfect if you are somewhat in the gray area, and this automatically gives us enough space to walk past the vehicle without any issues. I believe it looks narrower in the picture than it actually is. 2001, but you have easily 1.10 meters of space here, as I measured, when you stand nicely in the center and on the side. You can also see enough space to walk past the vehicle. I could drive a little further forward for various washing actions, but you can also see enough space back here. So here, this should be about 60 centimeters now, which is actually enough, but I could actually move a bit further forward because you can see I still have a lot of space in front. You have to calculate. A plate here measures 40 by 40, which actually means 4.8, and I have about 20 left. So there is still 1 meter of space here. I could move forward a bit more, and then there would be a lot of space available here. But now it looks really nice and clean, and vehicles can stand wonderfully inside here. You can also shoot videos properly again, wash, and do everything that goes along with it, play with water, and do all the things that you need to do and can do in the videos. So, there were also questions from your side, and let's start with the first question. I will display it here on the side, and it is from Lux B. How much did the floor cost? I had planned a bit more material at the beginning. I was expecting a larger area. I still need a few tiles for other places, but you are roughly at about $600 for the area. However, I can show you the exact price now for the area that you see. In my opinion, it always initially looks like a lot of money, but when you consider, for example, what tiles cost or even those rubber mats, which are really very heavy and robust and can bear a lot of weight, they are also meant for industrial use, and such things actually fall into similar categories. Well, I don't find such a floor to be that expensive, and you just lay it down once and then you're good to go, right? That's just one point, and you can design it however you like. It's actually quite relaxed. So, exactly at the price you displayed. Florian, your second question is, what are the dimensions of the whole thing? I already mentioned it, approximately 4 by 7 meters, so 4.20 meters. So, you actually have a vehicle that was also the plan for the hall. You have a vehicle that is 2 meters wide, and if you stand in the middle, you have 1 meter of space on each side. That you have an M here, another M there, 2 M for the vehicle, and 7 men overall. If such a car is around 5 men or something like 4 men, then you still have a little space in the front and back. And I actually wanted to put a shelf back there at the beginning, but I now have everything under control so well that it can actually all remain free here. From that point, it goes very, very well. The next question came from Julian Herman. He asks, which manufacturer is the floor? Here, I got the tiles from Floor Brothers, which I also wanted to test. And yes, as you can see, it works just as well, so you know where these come from. Then the next question here from Adapir. He asks why the floor wasn't done like this before. Yes, or made. Why didn't I do this earlier? That's always a good question. Why? Don't you perfect your life when you come into the world or when you're 18 and already have the perfect car? That's simply the reason. One continues to develop in what one learns and what one uses. And I had these mats, which are already laid out here, in front of the wash hole, a bit like, yes, doormats for the rims. I already had the mats available in my old hall, and I didn't have any additional costs, right? I could just lay them down here, and that was basically everything taken care of. And that's why I initially had the mats in, and it worked well until then, but at some point, with all the driving in and out, the mats just got a bit worn down because the rubber gets stretched due to the weight, and then with the chemicals, the mats are affected a bit. And over time, a mat has really deteriorated. That's why I said, for this update 24, there will be a new floor. The good mats are now lying in front of the wash hole. You can see nicely here, yes, they are now lying in front of it. And it's practically like an XXL doormat, so that if there is a bit of rain and you have a lot of gravel on your tires, you don't drag everything inside. Yes, that's the reason why this kind of floor is being installed now, because I already had the mats. Bio or BJ1986 asks, hey, where will the water drain? And we will go under here, and there you will see absolutely nothing. Not only because of the darkness, but I will now insert a picture. In the middle of my wash hole, there is a small drain. The hole has a hole right in the middle, directly under the vehicle, where there is a collection pit. Everything that comes in flows out there. I can then vacuum it up, 2001, and have it disposed of. And that is, of course, a big advantage because a treatment plant makes absolutely no sense here. It costs a fortune. Disposing of it is definitely much more relaxed. And I wash, when possible, mainly at the self-service box. I'm not going to direct 1,000 liters into the collection tank every week, and I think I have about 300 liters available here, which it accumulates. But you don't actually need that much for a normal vehicle wash. Not that much water is used. So you also have the information again about how I do this here. Fabrizio is asking how you do the car wash. Do you put a mat underneath? So, under these tiles, you can see there is a mat, and it is completely waterproof. These are two layers, so to speak, stacked on top of each other, ensuring that nothing becomes leaky. And the whole thing is, so to speak, here on the side, so on both sides. Here it goes up again behind the wall, and everything runs towards the center anyway, and you don't spray out here, an edge of about 8 cm. Here it goes down a bit more. This means you would have a practical fill level of 10 cm across the entire area, which it must first exceed in order to flow out at the front. And that simply does not happen. It is nearly impossible. You would have to introduce tons of water here. Don't do it during the vehicle wash and the films. As you can see here, I didn't lay the edge all the way to the outside. You can also see a bit in the summer, then the panels expand slightly and you get a slight wave in them, but it's still completely sufficient, folks. I also didn't lay the panels to the side because otherwise you would have to cut them here. You have about 10 centimeters on both sides and I didn't want to unnecessarily saw the panels. That's why I just left the small gap on the side. That's completely enough for me. So now you know how it is set up, and it actually works very well. That concludes the brief update. If you have any questions regarding this topic, feel free to leave a comment below or message me on WhatsApp. For me, it means finally shooting videos here again. There is endless space for what I have planned, which is more than sufficient. Visually, it also looks quite nice, as it matches well with the cap. Simply my absolute favorite color with turquoise, and that's why it fits perfectly. BMW fits in here as well. Very nice. We'll see each other again in the next video, also here in the hall, because over there, something is already set up for the foam cannon, so look forward to that. Until the next video, ciao.